Greetings and welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom to my Hebrew brothers. Praise the Lord to my Christian brethren, sisters. Shanti to my Hindu brothers. Um, or Buddhist. Which one is it? I'm not sure. But anyway,
Hotel Baragani, what's up?
yeah, West Africa, all the brothers and sisters from West Africa.
Naga Def.
Mangi Santa Bottom Tuba, Nagadev.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, so let's bring Baraka to the front, and you do the opening, Baraka. We're gonna put you in the front.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
And then we're gonna just mute everybody out. Go ahead, brother. Do your thing.
Call to action. The time now. Lay down your burdens, distractions, and anything that's holding you back, and take your rightful place. The battle is all around us, and it's right in your face. Let's go.
All right. In the honor of our esteemed Sheikh Sufi, thank you, brother Baraka. We're gonna allow Sheikh Sufi to do the opening prayer invocation. Sheikh Sufi, you got the mic, brother.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi wa huwa al-aliyyul azim. We seek the protection of Allah, the Most High, from any negative energy in our cipher and in our immediate presence. We invoke peace, prayers, and blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad, and we call on the African avatar, Sheikh Ibrahim, Serene Sayu, Serene Falu, and Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba to be with us and guide us. We call on the angels, Jibril, Mikael, Israfil, Azrael, to be with us and guide us. And we ask that all of the listeners and viewers' hearts be open to the knowledge of the higher realms. Peace and blessings be upon all of us.
Amen. All right. I thought I uploaded the beautiful video, man. Who is Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba? I think you got a chance to look at that.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I liked it. That was a nice video.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up now and get out of here. Thank you, Miss Bliss, for getting me caught up in that funniness in the WhatsApp chat. I want to thank the listening audience, everyone who's listening now and in the future, because in studying about ascended masters, you know, I give tribute and acknowledgement to Saint Germain and Nikolai Tesla. But back in the day, I would never hear about the African ascended masters, and it warmed my heart when I heard about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba through Professor Kareem, God bless him.
May Allah be pleased with him.
And he got the message from no other than Sheikh Sufi. So it is an honor to have you here on Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids, because the stories I would hear from Professor, I want to hear them from you. Sheikh Sufi, let it rip, let it cut, let it flow. I'm going to upload the video. Who is Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba? You got the floor, brother.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is an honor and a blessing and a privilege to be called by our brother Ankh Rising Sun to give some wisdom and teachings about our beloved Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. But I want to clear up one thing about our beloved Professor Kareem. You had mentioned that I was the one to inform him about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, but this is not completely true. I helped him get initiated
Wow.
in the order.
Wow.
But I remember distinctly the first day I met Professor Kareem was at the PASEF program at Temple University. And he asked me what I was doing with those beads. And I said, what you doing with those beads? And I asked him, I said, have you heard of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba? He opened up his wallet. In his wallet was a picture of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba on one side and a picture of Sheikh Baal Mahayadeen on the other side.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I got the story mixed up then.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that detail.
Wow.
But what anything, first of all, anything that I can say about the Master Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is just like a bucket of water from the ocean, because his reality is beyond the comprehension of mortal human beings. And I use that term lightly. If the viewers have seen the picture of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, we just want to start out straight out the gate and say there's only one picture of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, because he would not show up on film. Wait a minute, did he just go all the way to the top?
Yes, he did. Yep. Drop it like it's hot, and I'm pulling it up. Pulling it up, brother.
The Sheikh would not show up on camera. They took his picture several times, and when they got his picture developed, the film was blank. The only way they got this one picture is they begged the Sheikh. His family got together and said, Sheikh, the French have tried to take your picture several times. We tried to take your picture. You never show up on camera. They literally told the Sheikh, your story is so profound. If you don't show up on at least one picture to have proof that you were here, the people would say that you were a mythological character like Zeus or some of these other Greek phenomena. So the Sheikh agreed to have that picture taken. Now, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is very metaphysical. His school is a school of Sufism. So if we talk about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, we're talking about a Sufi master of West African descent. Now, a lot of people have heard of the poet Rumi. We love the poet Rumi. He's a wonderful representative of the Sufi world. But we don't hear about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba because he is of African descent. If Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was of so-called Arab descent, he would be one of the most known Sufi masters on the planet Earth, because his story is prolific. The history of his life is unbelievable. The miracles that took place at his hands were written down by the French and the Senegalese. He was a master of light, a master of Quran, a master of hadiths, a master of all the Islamic sciences. And we could say he was a master of African spiritual traditions, where in our time period and in Islam, we would call him a sheikh. But people in other spiritual traditions would say he was an avatar, a divine descent of the Rahman, the mercy of Allah on earth in human form. So I think that I'll stop right there as an introduction.
Let me tell you, as everybody in the audience know, I'm into the plant medicine and family. I have had people actually go into the ayahuasca, the Egyptian ayahuasca. Listen to this, family. They would go into the Egyptian ayahuasca and ask, who is that man in the white clothes that's standing by me? This is after we would ask that Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba oversee the meditation, the entheogenic Egyptian ayahuasca ceremony of using acacia, with Syrian Rue, we would actually ask, no, not me, but some people who didn't know him in person, that they would hear the prayer, but they would be like, "Well, who's that? I'm seeing somebody here," and lo and behold, that's what was so profound. And in doing mushrooms, if like doing mushrooms or wachuma or ayahuasca, I would ask, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, I would like to meet you. And energetically, Sheikh Sufi and the family, I'm calling Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba Ascended Master, because when you hear Sheikh Sufi tell you all the amazing things he's done, I don't think there's a human out here other than Simeon Toko that can pull something off like that. And
Facts.
I'm talking about being. Go ahead. Tell them about the lions when the French was so afraid of him. What they did to him with hungry lions, Sheikh Sufi.
Yeah, some of the stories are so miraculous. When Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was called to court to for the French to tell him to stop teaching Islam, they knew from the first proceeding that he was not going to stop. So they starved a lion and put the lion in a room for 3 days, and then they put Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba in the room with the lion, knowing that the lion would kill the Sheikh. And after 3 days of being in the room with the lion, when they opened the door, the lion jumped out on the French soldiers. Wow. There's another story that I found out that I haven't told really in public, but I'll share it today. After they tried to kill him with the lion, the French took Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and put him in a small corridor and let a bull run and charge at Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. The Sheikh said as the bull was charging at Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the angel Jibril came and lifted the bull up into the sky, and the bull never came back down to earth.
Whoa.
There's so many stories about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and miracles. It's like, where do we begin? One occasion, the French were really trying to stamp out Islam in West Africa at that time, because Senegal was a French colony. It was colonized by the French. So the French were exiling and outright assassinating any Muslim spiritual leaders in that area at that time. And when they exiled Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, they were not able to kill him. After 7 years in exile, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was the only one to come back alive to Senegal from the exile. And the Sheikh wrote in one of his writings, he said, some of the ways they tried to exterminate me, some of the ways they tried to assassinate me were so horrendous, he said, I wouldn't even speak on them. And he couldn't even tell people about the ways. One way we know, the French put poison in coffee and brought the coffee to the Sheikh to drink. And the angel Jibril came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and told him, don't drink the coffee, there's poison in the coffee. As soon as the angel told the Sheikh that, the Sheikh reached and grabbed the coffee and drank it as fast as he could. And when later asked why did he drink it knowing that there was poison in it, he said, I drank the poison because I wanted to let them know that their poison could not kill me.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I got the video. I'm going to put the video up right now for those of you who may not.
Okay, Bismillah.
Oh, I got the wrong one. Okay. Please continue, brother.
Yeah, so the main thing is Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is the representative of an ancient mystery school, an ancient school for the return of the human being to the divine. It's a very ancient system that traveled through many, many different lands. we could say the school was first in the land of Mu. The school was in the land of Lemuria. The school was in the land of Atlantis. They didn't write anything down until the school was in ancient Kemet. Then in ancient Kemet, it went from Kemet to Tibet, traveled through China, traveled through India, traveled through Mecca, and finally the seat of the school now is in West Africa in the holy city of Tuba. But it's the original system of God realization that was taught in all of these ancient civilizations. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So the Sheikh is bringing a school for the cultivation of the divinity inside of the individual disciple and practitioner.
And the reason I wanted to share, oh, here I'm pulling up the video. For all of those who are into entheogens, all of us who are into the various entheogens, what I have realized, family, and I want to share this with you, this is the realm that's close to where they live all the time. So it's just not a distant philosophical West African spiritual system I'm talking about. I'm talking about everyone who's into entheogens. If you humbly open-minded, you can literally have a direct experience with Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. I'm going as far to say that.
Yeah, now I don't like to tell all of my personal business, but I am one who has traveled with the grandma with Brother Ankh on a few occasions, and the ayahuasca journeys were so beautiful to me. I think on my second journey right there in Brooklyn, before we drank the tea, I said to myself, I want to see my Sheikh Serene Salihu, who was the son of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. And when I drank the tea, as I begin to travel into the other world, my Sheikh Serene Salihu came into the living room. I could see him clear as day. He was there.
Wow.
So what you're saying is actually true. The medicines can be used to remove the veil between you and the unseen to experience these masters. You're telling the truth. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. So here's the video, family. I was able to pull it up. Now,
Beautiful.
question coming up is, who is Sheikh Ibrahim?
Fall, y'all don't fall. Now,
Excuse me, Hank. Excuse me. Before we get to that, I want to ask a question about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, if that's okay.
okay, yes.
So, we Africans in the West, we grow up learning virtually nothing about the heroes that fought against the colonial powers that were taking over Africa. And so I had an opportunity to go to Senegal back in the days, and like you mentioned, that one picture is all over Senegal. It's on the side of buses. It's just literally everywhere. And when I asked people about it, they told me some amazing stories. But knowing that the French, one of their major goals was to Christianize Senegal, right? And so that would be one of the many victories of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, in that one of his legacies is that, Senegal was never Christianized. So my question is, how important to the French do you think it was to try to bring Christianity to Senegal, and talk a little bit about the legacy and the pride of the Senegalese in that goal of the French was never realized?
This is a what they say, if you can free your mind and the rest will follow. If the French could colonize the mind of the African, then the rest of the African would follow. So the fight against Christianity was a real serious jihad in West Africa at that time. There were some Muslim leaders who took up arms and fought the French, and a lot of blood was shed. But Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, in his fighting of the French, he said, we will not shed blood. And what I found out being in Senegal, I've been to Senegal 10 different times, a lot of trips back and forth. When I talked to the Senegalese about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and the French, they told me that every time the French missionaries would come and build a church, the Baifal, disciples of Sheikh Ibn Fall, would come and open a Sufi school next to the church and do the chanting, la 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 la. They would chant nonstop until the missionaries left, because the missionaries was like, these people are not going to accept Islam from us. So that's one thing I found out, is one of the ways they fought the French was every time they built a church in Senegal, the Sufi brothers would come right next to the place and start chanting for days straight until the missionaries would leave.
Wow.
So, yeah. And one other thing I want to say, not only was Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba a victory for Islam in West Africa, he also brought back the African dignity to the Africans, because before Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's time, the West Africans were looking to Arab sheikhs, scholars, and teachers. To where my sheikh told me, he said, you could have brought an alcoholic Arab to Senegal, gave him a bath and some cologne, and people would have started following him just because he was an Arab.
Wow.
But he said when Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba came, he broke the stereotype he broke the inferiority complex of the Africans for the Arabs, because Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba started to have Arab disciples. The Arabs were taking their initiation to be his students.
See, we don't hear about that. We don't hear about that.
Nah, so he was a victory. He brought back the dignity to the African Muslims and ended the Arab inferiority complex that they had in West Africa.
Yeah, because when you was in Senegal, did any of the Muslim brothers from Senegal marry any Arab women?
You didn't see that too much. You really didn't see that too much. What did Marcus Garvey say? African for the Africans.
Yeah. So who is Sheikh Ibra Fall?
I wish I had my picture of Sheikh Ibra Fall. This is a story that honestly I could say would make a good movie. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was one to wear all white. Some say Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba only had one pair of clothes, to be honest. Sheikh Ibn Fall was known to wear all black. So Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is a secret. But the secret of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is Sheikh Ibn Fall. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba once said, if I didn't have Sheikh Ibn Fall with me, the Muslims would say I was just like all of the other Sufi masters that came before me. But since Sheikh Ibn Fall was so different in his way, the bifall make the Murid community stand out in the way that we call the path of blame, because the bifall are so unorthodox. When an Orthodox Muslim sees a bifall, the first thing they're gonna say is they not Muslim. They that esoteric.
Wait.
So,
Say that again, brother. Say that again. That was deep what you just said there. Run that back. Reroll the video.
Rewind selector, come again.
Yeah.
Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, if I did not have Sheikh Ibn Fall with me, the Muslim community would say, oh, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is no different than the other Sufi masters of the past.
Wow.
But the way of Sheikh Ibn Fall is so esoteric. It's so what we call batin, or of the hidden world, that because we have Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and the Murid path, and a brother, I could say, our Sufi order has two ways inside of it. You have the Murid path. Yes, Sheikh Ibn Fall. Thank you for bringing up the picture. Sheikh Ibn Fall is the founder of what we call the bifall path. And the bifall path is a very esoteric way that comes under what we call the path of blame. In Arabic, it will be the Malamatiya, because Sheikh Ibn Fall's way is so esoteric that the Muslims say the bifall are not Muslims.
Wow.
That's what they'll say. The bifall are not Muslim. Because you'll see a bifall in Ramadan drinking coffee. And he's supposed to be fasting. So when Muslims see that, they say, oh, the Bilal, these guys are heretics. So Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is a secret, but the secret of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is Sheikh Ibn Fall. Now, let me tell you a little griot oral tradition.
Yeah.
The Sheikh you're seeing now, Sheikh Ibn Fall and Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, were together in the world of souls before the creation of the sun, moon, and star. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, I worshiped Allah for 70,000 years before he created Adam. I don't know if y'all ready to hear that.
Run it. You know, that's confusing because, you know, here in the States, they say, like, you know, Islam's only, you know, it's rather a new religion. So if you saying that, man, that puts a whole nother angle on Islam.
What we had, okay, I'm trying to be nice today.
Why are you trying to be nice, man? Say whatever you want to say.
the Islam is African. The Arabs don't have Islam.
Ooh.
The Arabs hijack Islam. In Senegal, the Africans say, listen to me. In Senegal, the Africans say the Arabs messed up our Islam.
Wow.
Na yakna sunudini. The Arabs messed up our Islam, meaning Islam is an African tradition. Give you a little bit of history. If you go to the Sudan, what color are those people?
Carbon, magnetic, midnight black.
So if you cross that canal, the Suez Canal, and go on the other side of that canal, do you think those people on the other side of the canal is just imagine, Brother Aunt, the Sudanese people are pure African.
Right.
You go across a small body of water, a canal, and you try to tell me them people on the other side of the water ain't African?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It don't make sense, brother.
Right.
The same sun that turned them Sudanese people pitch black is the same sun that was shining in Mecca when Prophet Muhammad was there. The original, there's a book you can find, and I didn't want to get on this topic.
Man, flow like water, brother.
Man, let me
flow
take
like
listen.
water.
Y'all just got me. Hold up.
Pyramids. That's it. Get comfortable because it's starting to heat up.
Tell them the truth.
Yep.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked the question, who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, follower of civilization, God of the universe. The original everything looked like us.
That's
Fact.
that's that's
The
right.
original Chinese look like us.
That's
The
right.
original Arab looked like us. The original Indonesian looked like us. The original everything had melanin.
No doubt.
Yep.
And they said the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, was from the Quraysh tribe, and the Quraysh tribe was known to be of the darkest Arabs.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again and say it slow, brother. Say it again and say it slow, brother, because this is epic. I did not know that. Please say it again.
The Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad said, my grandmother is in Ethiopia.
Mm.
People don't want to talk about that. What are you talking about? Your grandmother's in Ethiopia? There's only one woman buried under the Kaaba named Hajar. She's an African dark-skinned woman. She's buried under the Kaaba in Mecca.
Wow.
People don't want to talk about the African presence of Islam. It's sad to me that people in the West who claim to be Afrocentric, red, black, and green, black power, they overlook Islam because they think it's an Arab tradition, but they don't know the Arabs hijacked Islam. The Islam didn't come from no Arabs. Islam came from East Africans.
That's what I wanted to hear, brother. I wanted to hear the truth of it because we don't know over here.
We don't know. We think that guy on the corner
Islam
store,
is Arabs, man.
Huh?
We be thinking it's all Arabs.
And
looking
everybody
like
named Mama know the first Islamic institution was in Timbuktu in Mali.
What? Say that again.
Brother, the first Islamic institution was in Mali in Timbuktu. That was the first Islamic university.
So how is it possible when you said Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and Sheikh Ibrahim was praying to Allah 70,000 years ago? That's a mind bender right there, brother.
I'm telling you, brother. And wait a second. What color is Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba?
Black or invisible?
Well, we could get to that too. Now, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is a descendant of the Prophet Muhammad by blood.
Woo! What? I didn't know that.
What? Let's make it plain, brother. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba is from Prophet Muhammad's family, peace be upon him, and he a black African.
Wow.
So I need to write a book called The Missing Pages of Islam.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Because, and for anybody, I want to give y'all something. One thing I like about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's path is we are African Muslims. We do not take the African traditions out of Islam.
Wow.
I hate to tell you.
Sheikh,
Yeah.
You said you're gonna tell the truth. You said you're gonna bring it raw. So I mean, if you don't want to answer this question, that'll be fine with me because I know it's a very, very controversial topic. But I observed in Senegal that there are people who are devout Muslims, but they still keep the traditions and they still practice the traditional African religions. Could you comment on that?
Yes.
And that what you were just referring to is what I'm
Get
really
your hand out my pocket. Get your hand out my pocket. Brother, I'm so glad you brought this up. Listen to me now. In the Sufi world, we have the Sheikh, okay? The Sheikh is giving you verses of Quran. He giving you 99 names of Allah. He giving you prayers of the Prophet Muhammad to recite. But in West Africa, not only do we have the Sheikh, we have the Marabout. Now, the Marabout is very similar to an Ifa Babalawo. The Marabout does divination. the marabou is making talismans. The marabou is making spiritual baths. The marabou is keeping the African tradition alive inside of Islam. And what's giving him so much power is
what about sacrifice?
The marabou will sacrifice a chicken on your ass before you blink. So
why you laughing and then mute, man? You better unmute. We want to hear you laugh, brother. Go ahead.
Some marabou. Oh God, I don't even want to.
Go ahead, brother. Let it flow. Let it flow.
You know my Sheikh Ahmadou Cheikh.
Yeah. Special shout out.
He's a Sheikh and my Sheikh is a Sheikh and a marabou. He make you a talisman that a gun and knife can't go through your skin type African.
I seen it and videotaped it.
That's right.
Bliss, that's who I videotaped. Family, that's who we videotaped in the living room where he pulls out that blade and starts hacking away at his leg after slicing through the watermelon and cutting into the table.
That's my teacher.
Yeah.
That's my teacher. That's one of my teachers.
Special shout out.
That's one of my teachers.
Ahmadou Cheikh. I'm gonna send him this video clip when we're done. Yep.
So, Brother Baraka, to answer your question, the Sheikh is giving you the spiritual guidance, and the marabou is doing basically the same thing that the Babalawo was doing in Nigeria, but he's using Quran with his what you would call hoodoo. But what they call in voodoo and hoodoo, I think that's a white man's term. In West Africa, it's not called voodoo; it's called science. They don't look at it as something negative. I asked my Sheikh. I asked Ahmadou Cheikh. I said, "Why do you have to learn the light and the dark?" He said, "We learn both sides of the magic to defeat the dark magic."
Wow.
Yeah, that's what my Sheikh told me. Because I asked him, he said, "We learn the light and the dark magic to defeat the dark magic." But all of it in Islam, we don't even really call it magic. We call it the manipulation of earth, fire, water, air, and ether. Is more like a system of alchemy. We have a system of alchemy in West Africa in our Sufi school that is alive and well right now.
Okay, now not okay. Let's go in. We going in tonight, all right? Because these are questions, Sheikh Sufi. I don't know why you blocking your sound, man. Yo, I want to ask a question, man.
Okay,
Sheikh Sufi, and you here, and it's pertaining to sacrifice. Why is there a need to sacrifice a cow or a chicken in African version of Islam? And I don't know if
I'm gonna give you the real question now.
What's the need? What happens when blood is poured from a chicken or a goat, or because they do have halal?
Yeah. Even in the Quran, you see where all of the animal sacrifices go back to the prophet Ibrahim. When Ibrahim was told to sacrifice his son Ishmael, before he sacrificed his son, what did Allah do? Allah replaced his son with a sheep. So all of the animal sacrifices go back to that. But in the West African world, we learned that a lot of families that just have so much bad happening in their family. You ever heard how somebody say, "We got a generational curse in our family"?
Heck yeah.
So what you find out is that generational curses are real, and 9 out of 10 times it's caused by a jinn that's attached to that family that's causing hell in that family.
Okay, hold on, because you got a lot of newbies here. Sheikh Sufi, what is a jinn? Because
jinn is something a nigga can buy on the corner store for 50 cents. No, I was talking about a lot. But if you go in the liquor store, on the bottle it say gin, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Now wait a second. You telling me there's a connection?
Brother, hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics. Oh,
if you go to the store right now and you buy a bottle of gin, under the word gin it says neutral spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It says what?
Neutral spirits.
Oh,
I'm going to check because there's a liquor store around the corner.
They're telling you.
about right here.
Okay, and what do it say on there, brother? Don't it say neutral spirits?
Yes, it do.
So the jinn is a being that could be positive or negative. She's going to look at her bottle of gin right now. She can't believe it.
Oh, man. What?
So there's spirits in there. If somebody drinks gin and likes to meditate, they'll go into a deeper state of meditation from that gin and that spirit in that bottle.
Oh.
But if somebody is a criminal doing crime, they'll drink the gin and go out and rob and shoot somebody. That's why it's called, that says neutral spirit, because the gin in that bottle, and how many times you seen on Aladdin, they rubbing the lamp and the genie come out the bottle.
Come on now, that's right.
So in West Africa, the Sufis are masters of jinn.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to work with jinn. The Prophet Solomon, if you study Masonic history, King Solomon was a master of the jinn, and the jinns built King Solomon's temple. I hate to say that in public.
Oh, man. The jinns built King Solomon's temple.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Yo, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you said, wait, okay, all right, slow down, because it's flowing nicely tonight. So you're saying that, so is it possible Ifa and Yoruba is actually originated from Marabou Islam?
Brother, I got a friend right now. I got a disciple right now. He's a Babalawo, and he go to Nigeria about 3 times a year. About 10 years ago, he was in the Ifa ceremony in the bush in Nigeria. They opened up with the Holy Quran.
Wow.
When he came back, he said, brother, I was in the bush and the Babalawo started saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. He recite the first surah of Quran to open the Ifa ceremony. So there is a relationship between the two systems, but people don't want to talk about it.
Why not?
Beats me. I don't mind talking about it. So in West Africa, if somebody has
brother,
a jinn,
you bringing clarity. Thank you, Sheikh Sufi. You bringing clarity, man.
Oh man, you drink a little Coke 45, you get some clarity. So so your question about why do we sacrifice the animal? Why do we shed the blood? If there's a jinn attached to a family, it may require an animal sacrifice to make that jinn leave the family alone.
Huh.
So the blood is payment to the jinn to leave the family.
So is this what's happening in other systems like Yoruba, Santeria? Are they still practicing from the root of it? Would you say they're practicing actually Marabou Islam?
Yeah, same thing. That's why I said our system has had many different names.
This is deep, man.
Our system has had many different names. I've had Babalawos come to me, take initiation, and I write them a talisman from West Africa to protect them from people in E5 that's trying to harm them.
Oh,
did I say that in public?
Yo, this is fascinating.
So I have a question. Most people know in Haiti they practice a lot of spirituality, voodoo. So what would you say about that? And if that's the case, would you say it's still working? Like, why are they in the condition that they're in right now?
You know, the people in Haiti, if you study, they're not using it to fight the oppressor anymore. From what I studied, Toussaint Louverture had so much magic, he raised up an army of dead people from the cemetery to fight the French people, and that's why they couldn't beat his army because they was already dead. So they have that power in Haiti, but they're not using. And then one person from Haiti told me, during that time of fighting the colonialists, there was a portal open from all the magic that was never closed.
Was that Toussaint that did that, or was that Dessalines?
Oh, I'm not sure. From my research, speak your truth, brother. Let's hear what you got. I want add on, brother. Come on with it.
Well, I just in my studies, I believe that was something that we could give credit to Dessalines for, not necessarily Toussaint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
teacher, tell me how you do.
double checking, brother. That's all. Just double
Okay,
checking.
hey, man, knowledge is powerful. I learn from everybody. I'm the first one to say I don't know. If I don't know something, I'll be the first one to say I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you a question. I know you know. What is the connection, Sheikh Sufi? And Baraka, you got feedback. So thank you. What is the connection, Sheikh Sufi, with Sheikh Ibrahim and the acacia bifold beads?
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I love me some bifold beads. That acacia wood, I got to put a picture up because this is mystically magical. The acacia wood, Sheikh Sufi.
Now, Sheikh Ibrahim, at one point, he used to live inside of a baobab tree. Let me just get that out right out the gate. At one point, he used to live inside of a tree. The Sheikh you see in the picture, used to have beads made out of jalamban, which they call acacia. And this wood is his pair of beads were made. The beads that Sheikh Ibrahim had were made out of jalamban, or what they call acacia, which is the tree of immortality. Now, the wood is alive, and it keeps away jinns and negative spirits from whoever has the wood.
Man, say that again, please.
The wood is alive. And in West Africa, the bifold, we use those beads, that the prayer beads most of us use are made out of that wood. And the wood protects you from jinns and negative spirits, to the point that they even grind the wood up into a powder and make an incense out of it that you can burn into your clothes to protect you from jinns and magic. The wood is very powerful.
And family, that's why I use in all my beads, Brother Baraka, Miss Bliss. Look, this is all acacia, Sheikh Sufi.
Brother, the people cannot pay you enough for that wood. If you were to ask $500 for acacia, it would be worth it because of what they're saying that wood does in Senegal, brother.
And what's magical, I want to share with you
made me want to say something.
Go ahead.
Anybody who has the wood is so alive. If you chant names on the wood, if you're light skinned, the wood will become more light in color. If you're dark skinned, the wood will become more dark in color to match your vibration. And that's how you know it's alive. I remember the first time I got some beads in Senegal, they were pitch black. And I started doing my prayers on them, and the beads started getting light. And I said, man, they done sold the Americans some fake ass beads. Why are they gonna sell me the fake beads? They change the colors. So I went back to talk to the brother, and I said, brother, man, what's going on? The beads has changed the color. He said, oh, I forgot to tell you. Because of your complexion, the beads are getting lighter. If you take those same beads and give them to a dark-skinned African, the beads will start to get darker because the beads are alive and it's matching your vibration.
Listen.
That's a serious wood, brother.
That wood, and Sheikh Sufi, to call on the spirit of the acacia wood, what's the correct word, Sheikh Sufi, to awaken the acacia wood?
In Wolof, it's called jalamban. Jalemban. Jalamban. And most bifold will have a bracelet made out of it. They'll have a necklace made out of it. They might have prayer beads made out of it. They might have an anklet made out of it on their ankle. They're gonna have some jalamban on their body, bro.
I guess you're making anklets now, huh?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you that
We
tree.
got waist beads. We got necklaces. All we need is some anklets now.
Oh, you got Jaliban waist beads?
Yo, I got a belt on now, brother.
Okay.
I got a belt. And what I noticed, family, I'm into Oregon. Okay? I'm into Oregon. And I will say I've experimented with everything from iron filings, copper filings, you name it, I've tried it. The best results I have ever experienced, Sheikh Sufi, Jalaban, Jalaban, Acacia. Hands down, it is the best Oregon tissue regenerator to date.
The wood is alive, and one thing I learned from the people in Senegal, if they have a log of the wood with a cut in it, if they leave that log there over time, the log will heal itself. The cut will seal up, and the wood will close. The cut, the wood will heal itself, brother. It's alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So when I first started wearing the acacia beads, when I went to sleep, it would wake me up with the vibration being so strong around my waist and my abdomen area. What is that when you feel that vibration coming from the beads?
Intuition is telling me the beads are so powerful, it's pulling toxins and negativity out of your body.
Oh.
The having those beads on is a form of detox for your physical body. Yeah, so it's pulling toxins. It could be pulling toxins out and definitely pushing away negative spirits from your body, for sure. Yep.
Nice.
Listen, we going in. In the Bible, tree of life, acacia wood. Ark of the Covenant, gold and acacia wood. Ark of the Tabernacle, I know it's acacia wood. Noah's Ark, acacia wood. Is there a connection, Sheikh Sufi, with people in Senegal? Do they live? What's the average age of people in Senegal versus here in the States? That's what I want to ask.
Oh, man, brother. First of all, I want to say in Senegal, they don't have no homes for the elderly. There's no such thing as grandpa's 90 years old. We're going to put them in a home. They respect the elders and they keep them at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say the average age could be close to 90. Two things happened. There was a man in Senegal. I met one man who was 108 years old.
Wow.
Walking with a cane, but he didn't need the cane. He didn't want people to know that he was walking with a cane but didn't need a cane. There's another case of a man who was 100. Listen to this. He was 108 years old but had a 7-year-old daughter.
Oh boy, let me pull up the whole picture there.
You heard about this one? You heard about him, Hank?
No, I'm listening, brother. I just want to look at Bliss' face.
and they interviewed him on the news because he was so old. They brought the man on the news and said, "Hey, we know you're 108. How you got this daughter who's 7 years old?" He just went like this.
Oh man! And the reason
old man started laughing.
The reason I asked this, I'm just going to say it. I think there's a connection. Sheikh Sufi, Baraka, Miss Bliss, audience, Shaman Dooley, Nikki, Tantra Nikki, Awatif. I think there's a connection between acacia wood, cell regeneration, and I really feel just by wearing all these I got all these acacia beads. I feel there's a deep connection with Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and the acacia tree. Sheikh,
because that's what trees in West Africa are known to be mystical beings. The first mosque of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was inside of a baobab tree, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba used to make his prayers inside of a tree. It was so big.
Wow.
And then at one, the Baobab tree of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. And then I went to visit the tree where Sheikh Ibn Fall used to live. The tree, I just came back from 6 months in West Africa. I was over there for 6 months. Beautiful experience, living in the Baifal village. And there's a tree 10-minute walk from our village that Sheikh Ibn Fall used to live inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful place to be, man.
We're going back we'll probably go back next summer for two weeks. Now, one thing that I do is if people have negative energy or jinns around them, I make a spiritual bath and I put some of the acacia wood powder into the bath to push away negative spirits in the bath. And next time I come to Brooklyn, I'm gonna have to bring you some of that powder, brother. It smells like sandalwood when you burn it.
The acacia powder?
Yeah. In Tuba, in the Holy City, they ground it up into a powder and burn it in incense on charcoal. I bought back 2 jars of it. I'm gonna have to bring you some as a gift, brother.
Thank you, bro. I will gift you. Well, I mean, not that you really need it, but I'll be honored to gift you one of the acacia necklaces.
Woo!
Yes. And,
I ain't no killer, but don't push me. That's Tupac.
Oh yeah. It's folks. Here's some of the folks in the chat. And Sheikh Sufi. Here's a question. Folks want to know where they can get your products. How they can get in touch with you?
The best thing is to email me. I totally got off of social media. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Crackbook. 6 months in the village, I was like, get off of this social media and be in Africa. So coming back to America, I have no desire to be on none of that social media. Y'all can go ahead with that. So my email is sheikhsufi@gmail.com. CHEIKHSUFI@gmail.com. Now, Brother Ankh, I have to thank you because the last show, we did a show about 5 years ago, and I still get emails from people who saw that show who want me to make a talisman or do a reading or make a spiritual bath for them. Brother, this right here, I shouldn't even show this.
Too late. Well, go ahead.
I don't even want to tell you what that bath do.
So what was that?
Be quiet.
Oh.
I don't even want to tell you. Come
on now.
Huh?
The cat's out of the bag. You can't show and not tell.
Y'all
Man,
gotta start stomping your feet at home so you can do it.
Listen, I got a bath that turned an ugly dude to a pimp.
What do you do? You got formulas for women? Because Miss Bliss looks like she's turning into a teenager. What you got?
The main formulas are everybody needs some protection.
Facts.
If you in North America, you need a talisman for protection. That ain't rocket science. If you're having relationship problems, you probably need a bath or a talisman for magnetism for love and relationships. And then there's another general bath or talisman that's for wealth and prosperity to bring you money. And this is basic stuff in Senegal, West Africa. Let me tell you something. One time I was in the holy city of Tuba. I was in the holy city of Tuba, ran into a little boy with pieces of paper in his hand. I said, "What you got in your hand, young man?" He's about 13. He said, "I got the 7 seals of Solomon in a magic square."
Wow.
And I said, "You wrote that?" He said, "Yeah, I wrote this." I was like, how much for that? I bought 10 of them from the little boy.
Wow.
This boy is 13 making a talisman to line you up with the 7 planets, 7 angels, 7 names of Allah in a magic square that's 7 by 7. And we grew up watching Batman and Robin. Unbelievable what they got in Africa.
Man, okay, we hold on now, family. In case y'all don't know, I used to like to go to Senegalese restaurant and order table gin, but I want to show a picture of a baobab tree and that little
Yeah.
man. Look at that little man underneath. I'm gonna move the banner for a second.
Wow.
Look at the size of the tree. Look at the size of the people, y'all, and look at the tree.
Wow.
And the trees, is it hollow on the inside, Sheikh Sufi?
Some of them are hollow. Sheikh the Fall used to live inside of a tree like that was hollowed out.
Wow.
And that tree is still alive. I was able to go and do some chanting inside of the tree before I came back from Senegal this time.
Look at the size of this tree.
Some of those trees are so big, they carve it out and you could drive a car through the tree.
Amazing. Now, I got another question. Okay. What's the magical properties of a baobab tree?
You know, in West Africa, they're making a baobab powder. You know how we got moringa?
Yeah.
I have some bifal friends. They make baobab powder, and they make a baobab oil that you can take the drops of. I'm not sure of the mystical powers of it, but I know that it has healing powers for the body, similar to something like a moringa.
You know, I want to share, Sheikh Sufi and family, that the baobab fruit, when it's dried into a powder, you can buy it online. It's like it's a super food. I mean, it got more vitamin C than orange.
Yeah.
It's got more potassium. And I got a bag of the baobab, and I need to tap into that because I haven't. Oh,
it makes an incredible drink too. You can make an incredible drink.
Delicious.
Incredible.
And I think in Senegal they call it bouillie. Is it?
Yeah,
bouillie?
they call it bouillie. Yep. You can get a bouillie on 116th Street in Harlem. Those Senegalese restaurants, they have it.
Yeah, and it tastes delicious, family. It tastes
incredible,
delicious. And it's a superfood. You know what I've been doing, Sheikh Sufi, and that's why I think the tea and talking about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, I was like, I got to get Sheikh Sufi back on this show on YouTube versus Blog Talk.
Now, one thing I would say, since we got some astronauts in the building, about the baobab tree, jinns and spiritual beings live inside of the baobab tree.
Whoa.
Now, this we know for a fact. The jinns and some spiritual beings, they live inside of the baobab tree.
Wow.
Yep, for sure.
How do you know that? What stories do you know?
Oh, I didn't want to tell it.
Hold on, I gotta pull.
Always ask for facts.
Okay, now this one is gonna make some people log off. Brother Aunt, can I say some wild, far out shit on your show?
Punch the pedal to the metal, brother.
I got a friend. I'm gonna tell his name. I got a friend named Mapendasila. His father got two wives. One's a human being, and the other wife is a jinn.
Ooh, she probably pretty.
He grew up with jinn brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Now he told me when he was growing up, when he would go into the house at night, his jinn brothers and sisters would run into a baobab tree and disappear, and they lived in the tree.
Wow.
So when you ask me where I got that from, I'm just telling you what I know from one of my friends who had some jinn brothers and sisters that lived in the tree.
Well, I wonder if there got to be some jinns up here in the hood, man, because some of these characters I've run across, man.
Brother, if they got gin in the liquor store, the gin is definitely in some people.
No, Baraka, we didn't hear you. What did you say, Baraka?
I said those ain't gins, those are crackheads.
Some crackheads is possessed by gins.
Yo, so that's a good question. Check Sufi. Are some of these crazy folks in the conscious community possessed by jinns?
Is a pig's ass pork?
Ooh.
But the problem is they don't even know it.
Oof.
The problem is they don't even know it.
So you say there's some jinns that are good and some jinns that are bad.
Now that's a good question, because some of the jinns are Muslim and some of the jinns are non-Muslim. Now my teacher, he told me the problem with the jinn is all of them are tricksters. A lot of people who read tarot cards, they're getting their information from jinns, but they don't even know it.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of psychics, a lot of mediums, a lot of people who doing readings saying they pulling the information from the astral realm. They're actually getting the information from a jinn. And the problem is sometimes the jinn ain't got no problem telling you the truth, and the jinn ain't got no problem mixing it with some lies.
I was always told that it would be the truth. You know, if you look at the reading, then some of the things are the truth. And then there may be other things that they'll say, oh, just throw it away. It's for someone else. Because they're reading for, you know, so many people. When you watch
Okay. Ooh, I like that. I'll buy that answer for $1. Yep. It could be true for somebody who's not there right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I had just stepped out to get me some. Let's talk about CRT, Kinkaliba, Sheikh Sufi. You've been in Senegal for 6 months. Here's this here. I'm showing you my Kinkaliba CRT right here, brother.
Boy, you more African than some Africans, man. Where do you get that Kinkaliba tea in Brooklyn?
Yo, the African shops, man, they got it. They don't talk about it. The masjid on Fulton and Bedford, none of the Muslims in there knew about Kinkaliba tea and never said if they did. Because when I asked the Muslim brothers, when I go to the masjid, yo, there's Kinkaliba right across the street. They're like, what's that?
Brother, do you know when you're brewing that tea, you can talk to the leaves, call it by its name, and tell the tea what you want to heal in your body. Yes. The people in Senegal, they talk to that tea before they drink it, and they tell the tea what they need.
And do they call it Kinkaliba? What word do they say over the tea? Sheikh Sufi.
What's the other name?
Siha.
Yeah, okay, so the Siha, I think, is the French name. They call it Kinkaliba is the African name.
Okay, got it.
So they say if you address it as Siha, you won't get no blessings from it. But if you address it by the African, I know, right? Somebody said the white man was the devil. If he ain't, he's his first cousin. But I'm talking too loud.
Oh, you can talk regular, and we can hear you.
Another big.
Okay, wait. My wife is giving me the lowdown. Kinkaliba is the French name. Sehau is the African name.
Yes.
Sehau, because she drinks Sehau. She don't drink the coffee that I drink. She used to drink that Sehau every. How you pronounce it? Sehau.
Sehau. I love it.
Is the African name. I made a mistake.
Okay, yo, because we flowing, brother. We flowing. Thank you, Dirty Jeff. And tell everybody what Dirty Jeff means.
Dirty Jeff means thank you. Now, one thing I want to say, man, me, Senegal la jogi. Dama nyo fi po lige srin tu, man. Nyo go fi po jahande. Luma come to Srin Bamba. Luma come to Sheikh Rafa. Deva sorry. Fuma jogi. She Senegal. She tuba. Def maner. Boma am samayeni. Dama nyo ad fi de. Fi. Daka tuba. Bahu. Munuma dak fi. Dama i devil sila ji Africa. But fi. Duma boga dok. Bukuma bok fi de. Duma bok fi. Fofla bok de.
Now, what did you just say, brother?
I just saved 15% on my car insurance by switching to Geico. So from going back and forth to Senegal for so long, I learned to speak the Wolof. But what I want to say is, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba prophesied and said his true disciples don't speak Wolof.
Mm.
And the Sheikh said, I have a lot of disciples on the other side of the ocean.
Taking shrooms.
Okay, and grandma.
And grandma.
At
And
the same time.
And Dooley. And
Right.
Nikki. And Rashana. And all the rest of them. And Wachuma Mountains next.
Man, listen, I might be at that. I might be at that ceremony with y'all on Friday and Saturday.
Bro. We'll make sure that you have an A train ride by way of Miss Bliss. We will make that happen.
I'm
Even
seeing if I can get up there.
The back of her car out and throw a blanket on the back. We're gonna get you up there, brother.
But guess where I'm at today? I'm in New York today, brother.
Get out of here. How long?
I'm supposed to go back to Philly tomorrow morning.
Damn, you should hang out till next week, man.
I know, and you in Brooklyn, but I'll probably go back to Philly tomorrow.
Okay.
And try to get back up here on Friday.
Oh yeah, that would be a great thing, man. That'll be a great thing. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I got a question. So all this history with all these wonderful people, how come we don't see any of those people right now who are doing these amazing things, saving whole communities of Black people, protecting them and leading them and guiding them? Where are these people right now?
I know a master right now in the village where I'm at, named Sareem Babakar Bo. He's a living manifestation of Sheikh Ibrahim Fall in 2022. He's incredible.
Ooh.
He's guiding a whole village, and the village is a utopian society.
Ooh.
Brother, housing is free in the village. The food is free in the village. Electricity and water is free in the village. That's why I didn't want to come back. I was living in a utopian society, brother, with a realized master who's a manifestation of Sheikh Ibrahim Fall in this time period. The highest beings, my sister, is not on social media. And I'm sure they got some high beings over there in Australia in the bush that we ain't never heard about. Yeah, them Aboriginals in Australia, they got some original teachings, but they probably ain't got no website. So it's high beings here on the planet. Oh, in the Sufi world, we learned there's at least 313 high masters on the planet Earth at all times. It's at least 313. Some of them are women, not just men. So it's at least 313 high beings on the planet at all times. We just have to come under the umbrella of one of them or join the school of one of these people for God realization. Because the whole system is, how can Sister Bliss be one with Allah in 2022 right now?
Lord have mercy. Alhamdulillah.
That's what it's all about. How can Brother Baraka start to work some miracles like the Masters was doing in West Africa? What can he do to pull that divine power out of him right now? Because the first thing the Sheikh is going to tell you is, what did Isa say? Everything I did, you can do and more.
Yes.
So if we practice the teachings of Sheikh after, each one of us has a divine side that's asleep, I can say. And if you start to do some practices, just as you can awaken the Kundalini at the base of your spine, you can awaken that divine nature that's latent inside of you right now by doing practices.
Man, I'm gonna share this, Sheikh Sufi and family. I put, and this is what's been happening. I just finished drinking that cup of Siha tea, and what I had added to it was monk fruit. Instead of sugar, I wanted to sweeten it. I sweetened it with monk fruit that I had bought from Costco, and it tastes delicious. And then Spirit said add a little bit of vanilla, vanilla extract between the monk fruit, acacia. I mean, Oh, and then what I did, I put a little bit of acacia in the tea, Sheikh Sufi, and
Mm.
I've been blowing my plumbing. I've been staying near the house. I mean,
TMI.
it's been cleaning me
Thank you.
out between the kinkaliba and adding a little bit of jalaban, acacia wood, add a little bit of gum of Arabic, um, added a little bit of vanilla extract and monk fruit. Have y'all tasted monk fruit sugar yet? That is a superior sweetener. It actually turbocharges you. And I feel like and I was thinking about you, Bliss, when I was preparing this. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna get to Wachuma Mountain because I might be
Oh
drinking this. I might be drinking this up before we even get outside the city limits. But the
no.
tea is cleaning, polishing my plumbing. You hear me? Because I'll be like, how did what? No, oh no, no, that's the bomb diggity. I'm just giving y'all the recipe. Giving y'all the recipe because Awa Tiff always be like, what you making now? Special shout out to Awa Tiff. I like calling her Awa Tiff. But Sheikh Sufi, what you got in your hands, brother? What's those beads about, man?
These are beads that have 200 count on them for chanting the names, for doing the zikr, what some people call mantra. One of the main practices in our order is chanting.
Wow.
So I tell all of my students, keep the beads moving.
Keep the beads moving.
I have a question. We recently took a class and they people were inquiring about the definition of a chant or the benefits of chanting. Could you explain that a little bit?
Man, that's my favorite subject. The most direct path to divinity is chanting.
Wow.
The most direct path to self-realization is chanting. In ancient Kemet, they chanted and they called it Hakau. Heka.
They called it what?
Heka.
Heka. Oh boy.
Heka was words of power that the ancient Kemetans chanted to have an effect on the 5 elements.
Wow.
Yeah, Heka and Hakau is words of power that were chanted in ancient Kemet. If you see the Buddhist monk chanting mantras, the Hindu chanting mantras, the Taoist chanting 5 sounds for healing the 5 organs, and then you see the Sufi chanting the 99 names, then you see even in the Catholic Church, the priests and nuns are chanting the Our Father, the Hail Mary. So this is something that's universal, that's found in all systems. So the shortest distance between you and the divine is the name of the divine.
Wow. So
as soon as you chant Allah, 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 you're there. Why you think them Hare Krishna people, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They chanting that Hare Krishna mantra to become Krishna.
Wow. And Krishna means black. That's what the word Krishna means. Black.
Blue black. Blue black. In the Buddhist temple, they chant Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, to become the Buddha.
And
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, to become Shiva. So even in the Bible, it says in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, the Word dwelt amongst people and became flesh.
Yeah.
That's even in the Bible. The Word is supposed to become you when you chant it. You are what you eat. So chanting the name is eating the name until you in Sufism they say, or we say the name Allah until you become what you're saying.
Ooh.
Okay.
Chant the name Allah until you become what you're saying.
Ooh.
I'm glad you're speaking about this. So in the class, they were speaking about chanting. And then so I was working on that. And so can you explain what happens to a person as they go into this chanting and they start to experience these different things that I guess for lack of a better communication is undescribable?
Ooh. And And Lord, man, when's the next show, brother? So anyway, this is some good stuff. This is like free food at a buffet for a fat lady, huh?
We just warming up, brother.
Brother, so in Arabic we have what we call dhawq, tasting. You can chant the name until it becomes so blissful you have an orgasmic experience just from chanting. I'm telling you.
Bingo.
And for those who know, one of the highest tantra is to engage in the act while chanting the names of the divine. That's how you give birth to an avatar. If you want to give birth to an avatar, the couple should be chanting names of the divine at the exact time of conception, so that divine vibration will go into the child.
You know, now you talking tantra, bro. Because when I would give Yoni Puja, and I'm gonna keep it PG, Yoni Puja, I would actually passionately, devotionally embrace the lotus flower and chant. Oh,
it's one of the highest tantras, brother. One of the highest tantras, brother.
And you know what her reply would be? Do it again.
One of the highest tantras. In Buddhism, they got something called the highest yoga tantra, but they won't teach it to lay people.
Say that again, brother.
In Buddhism, they have something, Tibetan Buddhism to be specific. Tibetan Buddhists have something called the highest yoga tantra, where the monks are practicing tantra with dakinis for realization. And one of the most famous dakinis is named Vajra Yogini.
Ooh,
I shouldn't be giving out all this information.
You're flowing, brother. We just warming up. There's more coming.
Oh, but I didn't want to get on the subject of tantra, but if you're not practicing tantra, you're not really having sex. You're wasting your time, to be honest.
Facts.
Because the act is something that's divine. It's not for recreation.
Yo, Baraka, you got to unmute.
I was just repeating the word recreation. Like, that's deep. Creation is in recreation.
Or you can make a wreck.
Right.
Wreck of a creation of a wreck.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
You still getting feedback from me?
No, not when you're talking.
Okay.
When you're talking, it's good.
Okay.
So now, this is where it gets good. You mentioned, why are you laughing? Because this is getting good. You mentioned chanting the 180, or did you say 200 names of Allah?
These beads have 200. There's actually, what you find is, in Hinduism and Buddhism, they have 108 names of Brahman. Ooh. 1 and 8 is 9. In the Kabbalah system, they have 72 names of Yahweh. 7 and 2 is 9. In the Islamic system, we have 99 names of Allah. 9 plus 9 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So that number 9 is in the Buddhist divinity, the Hindu divinity, Hebrew, and Islamic divinity. So anytime you see a number that's the same across the board, it's relating to the vibration of divinity. And 9 is for rebirth and being reborn. So we're chanting these 99 names to be. Now, Allah has 99 names, but you really only have to call one of them until you get an answer. Brother Ankh, how many names you got?
Uncle Hanky, Magnet Man, Hank Rising Sun.
So if somebody call you Uncle Hanky and you answer, do they have to call Rising Sun?
Mm-mm.
That's how the divine is. The divine has so many different names. My Sheikh told me, just call on one of those names till she answer you. And we like to say she because the divine is more feminine than masculine.
What? Say that again.
Oh, come on, Unc. You know better than all of us.
Man, because we be hearing it from some Arabs, and they got a whole nother spin to stuff.
Okay, well let me break it down for you again. That's Lauren Hill. So Allah has 99 names, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In Arabic, there's more feminine names for Allah than masculine.
Whoa.
So that's why, and my master, he says, the secret of Allah is inside of the woman.
Ooh.
So in the Sufi path, we honor the divine feminine because we know that it's something I want to say that I definitely can't say on tape.
Oh, why not?
God.
Because I got another question for you, brother.
I'm going to tell you what an African Sufi told me.
Go ahead.
And I shouldn't even say this in public. One of the brothers in our Sufi order years ago, he told me, he said, you know why all mystical men love sex?
Say it again, brother. He said, what now? What'd you
He
say?
said, you know why all the high mystics love sex?
Why is that?
He
God
said,
bless Ray Charles.
He said the smell of a woman during orgasm is the smell of Allah. And I'm just telling you what he said in West Africa. He said the scent a woman emits during orgasm is what God smells like. That's why the mystics like sex.
Wow.
And he was married to my Sheikh's daughter.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, African Islam ain't got nothing on what we got in West Africa. Them Arabs ain't got that, bro.
Listen, brother, what you just dropping tonight, you're going to make people have a better holiday coming up. They're going to have a wonderful holidays, man. Now, for our brothers,
Ain't nobody for no holiday. We going to work tonight.
Say it again.
I ain't
brother.
no killer, but don't push me. He said tonight.
Tonight. And it ain't even a full moon yet. Yo, Sheikh Sufi. This is something I want you to touch on for all our Hotep brothers and sisters, and all our Hotep or our culturally astute philosophers, authors. What is the connection between Wolof and the ancient Egyptian language?
Brother, you're going to make everybody who's Kemetic want to join our Sufi order. Do you know the ancient people in Kemet traveled across the Sahara Desert with their school and teachings and settled in West Africa in Senegal to the point that the Senegalese language of Wolof is the daughter of the ancient Kemetic language that was spoken in Egypt, and there's many words in Wolof that are direct correlative to words in the ancient Kemetic spoken language. There's a book in French called The Ancient Egyptian Origin of the Wolof Language.
Ooh.
It's in French. They don't have, I've never seen, I wish I could get that book in English. The name of the book is The Ancient Egyptian Origin of the Wolof Language. So when we learning to speak the Wolof, you're actually tapping into your ancient Kemetic heritage through the language of Wolof.
Ooh. And the ancient Kemetic or the ancient Egyptians revered the acacia wood technology.
Man. Yeah. The first thing my master told me when I went to Senegal the first time in 1996, when I took my initiation in the order, the first order the Sheikh gave me was take him and teach him to speak Wolof. Teach him to speak our African language. Learning the African language is so important for us in the West I love to tell the story. If you saw a dog going down the sidewalk saying meow, 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 you would think something was wrong with that dog. It's the same way for us to be speaking English. This is not our language.
Right.
You don't have to learn Wolof. You can learn Yoruba, learn Twi, but damn it, learn something other than English. Because you're like an Android system operating off of Apple operating system. It don't belong. You can't. How can you grasp an African system thinking with a European mindset?
And wondering how come everybody's fussing and fighting.
No. The first thing we got to do is get rid of this Western man's language to learn an African. That's why the first thing he told me, man, yo, one that did Wolof, Boko Wak Tubabde, Tubad Lang de Bahode, Munu Demfin. The first thing he told me to do was learn to speak African language. Now, my own personal experience. White supremacy is so ingrained in the language that when you learn the African language, you're hitting delete on the white supremacist programming in your subconscious mind just by learning to speak an African language. It's that important.
And you teaching classes, Sheikh Sufi?
We have a Wolof class starting in January. And I haven't taught a Wolof class in years, but now it's time to teach another Wolof class.
And how long have you been speaking Wolof?
Since 97.
Ooh,
97, 98.
Damn. Could you imagine Miss Blintz kicking some Wolof?
Yeah, and you know, when I speak Wolof, it gives me some type of euphoric, blissful state just by speaking the language. I'm telling you. When I'm in Senegal and people ask me, do you speak English? I say, did it? Do my walk anglais, man? Anglais. I say in Wolof, I don't speak English. I forgot all my English.
Ooh. Now let's tie it all together, brother. Is Wolof the ancient Egyptian language, tantric language, or is ancient Egyptian a tantric language, and is Wolof a tantric language?
All African languages.
When you said, I feel good when I speak Wolof.
I'm telling you.
Wait a second. Are you saying there's a acoustical connection to the cellular elevation, tantalization of speaking Wolof? Baraka, what you getting back there? Or is that
yes, I'm saying that.
I'm just thinking, I'm reflecting on the question and how different languages can resonate within the nasal cavity in such a way to cause it to vibrate, to match divine vibrations as well.
Well said, yes.
Ashe aho. Sheikh Sufi. I saw on Amazon you got a book, and I'm going to pull it up because you didn't tell me about it. Family, I'm putting the word out. Sheikh Sufi is a published author. At least one book that I know of about Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and I'm gonna look it up on Amazon. Sheikh Sufi, what is your how many books you done pumped out, brother?
I have written 11 books, and all 11 books are on Amazon. And
what do we look for?
Under different names because I know you're not pulling up the book I wrote on Tantra, are you?
Oh shoot! There's a bunch of books. I put Sheikh, and then I see Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Sheikh Sufi. I'm pulling up Sheikh Sufi.
And I got some of my books are under Sheikh Sufi, some are under Abdullah Salihu, some are under Kiyama Abdullah, because I've been writing these books as I journey. And my name has changed a few times since I started writing the books.
Now he got a bunch of books.
Yeah.
He got a bunch of books on Amazon. Why didn't you tell me about that, bro? All you gotta do, family, listen. All you gotta do is look up Sheikh Sufi on Amazon.
Now I got one book called Tantra, Sacred Sex, and Divine Love.
Say
But
it
I had to
slow,
write that book,
Say it slow so they can look it up.
I don't want people reading that book.
Why?
But the book is under the it's called Tantra, Sacred Sex, and Divine Love. But I wrote that book under the name Sufi Ananda because I didn't want the Muslims to get angry.
Why Muslims get angry about sex?
They don't. Most of them, unless they're Sufis, they don't understand the Tantra concepts.
Ooh.
Did you find that one on Amazon too?
I'm going to look for it.
My disciples don't even know I have that book. I don't even talk about it to my students.
What is it called again? Sacred
Sex, Divine Love.
Damn,
Sacred Sex, Tantra, and Divine Love.
Sheikh Sufi.
Yeah.
So what you just shared with us in terms of how and thank you for being so open and forthright.
I'm only open because I used to sleep on Brother Ank's couch. Brother Ankh is the only one who could get me to say what I'm saying.
Wow. Wow.
You can't imagine how much time I spent in that man's house. The only reason I'm saying what I'm saying is because of my relationship with him. Other than that, I would not be giving all these teachings. We got to thank Brother Ankh because he's the only reason I'm saying all this. What I'm saying is not for the public.
It's time.
Well, the cat's out of the bag. So
yeah. It sure is. Yeah. Hey, listen to what Baraka just said. The cat is out the bag. Go ahead, Baraka.
So in terms of what you just mentioned, in terms of religious hang-ups that people tend to have that limit their thinking and you know and being open to, like, even what you were mentioning earlier in terms of the different sects of Ahmadou Bamba and I'm sorry, not Ahmadou Bamba. There was another sect where people would say the Bifo, how people say they're not even Muslim, right? Because they kind of almost maybe transcend some of the basic dogmatic practices of
exactly.
So but what exactly is that, like, because it does limit people's perspectives and therefore even possibly their spiritual development. So how does that serve the people? Is that an elitist attitude that only some people will will attain that higher state? What's that about?
Yeah. I'm the first person to say I do not like religion. Religion and spirituality is two different things. From the religious standpoint, it looked like Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and Jesus is saying something different. But from the spiritual standpoint, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and Jesus is the same person who came back, and his name just changed in different places. It's the exact same being that came back. In Tibet, they called him Buddha. No, in Tibet, they called him Krishna. China, they called him Buddha. In Jerusalem, they called him Jesus. In Kemet, he was called Haru. In some systems, he was called Padmasambhava. In Mecca, they called him Muhammad. And in Senegal, they called him Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. It's the same person coming over and over and over again.
Wow.
But the religions cannot see that. They can't get that idea that there's only, if God is one, every prophet he sent is the same prophet with a different name and a different cultural. The Sufis say every religion is right.
Sheikh Sufi, it's your book,
brother.
That's one of my books. That's the book I don't tell people about.
Nations have gone to war for what you are talking about, right?
Yeah, because they don't know. On the outside, the religions look different, but when you get to the inner, they're all saying the exact same thing. They have to be. You may call him Oludamari, you may call him Allah, you may call him Krishna, you may call him Brahman, you may call him Shiva. It's the same being. If Bliss went to an African village in Ghana, they might give her a different name. But that don't make her a different person, the same person. That's the same thing that happened with Allah. Allah has different names and different traditions, but it's the same being. Why can't people? The Holy Quran says if it was two gods, they would argue over where they want the sun to come up. One guy would be like, I want the sun to come up in the east. The other guy would be like, I want the sun to come up in the west. It's only one divine being, but the being has many different names. Man. And I got to say something, brother.
I'm pulling you up front and center, brother. Do your thing.
It does not matter what your religion is. Allah is the God of belief. You got a lady in Mississippi eating pork chops, praying to a blue-eyed Jesus that never existed. But because of her belief, God is answering her through her prayers. You got somebody in India praying to a statue with 4 arms. Because of their belief in that statue, Allah is answering them through their prayers. You got somebody in Nigeria sacrificing the sheep to Shango. But because of their belief in that, Allah is answering their prayers in that. So whatever you believe, if you start worshiping a tree, because of your belief in that tree, Allah will answer you through the tree. This is what people don't know. It's not about your religion. It's about what do you believe in.
Prayers are answered based on belief.
Exactly.
And here's another book of Sheikh Sufi.
That's the one, Sheikh Ahmadou, Life Teaching and Poetry. That's a good one.
Oh, I will say this. Let me share this. I don't know if I can't remember if Professor Kareem shared it with me or if you shared it with me, Sheikh Sufi, but they had an English translation of one of Sheikh Ahmadou's prayers. And when I read it, I have never read such glorious expression in words that literally made me high. Talking about it was just the way he was a literary master, and the description put me in altered states. And this was the English translation. And I never forgot, because it was like it just echoed in my head. You know, like it was almost like spiritual tantra to Allah.
I'm telling you, Sheikh Ahmadou wouldn't burn in fire. They put him in front of a firing squad. The bullets went through him and killed all the people. They threw him out of an airplane with cement bricks on his feet. They found him sitting on the beach. He did all these miracles, but he said, my greatest miracle is my writings. He said, my greatest miracle is my writings. The Sheikh was a poet writing prayers and poems. Now we have a lot of his prayers translated to English.
Man.
In our Sufis, we have a lot of his prayers translated to English, and we have a 3-year Sufi school where we're teaching some of his prayers in English on Sunday morning. So we have a lot of his prayers that we're teaching in the Sufi school on Sundays.
Sheikh Sufi, can you share with us? I'm glad you went in this direction. Can you share with us some of the ideas or philosophy of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba?
One thing I like to tell is this: a person came to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and said, "Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, they told me that you could show me Allah." And Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, "Yes, point to yourself." The man pointed to his face. Sheikh said, "No, that's not you." The man pointed to his chest. He said, "No, that's not you." He pointed to his arm. He said, "No, that's not you." Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba told the man, "Go and find yourself. And when you come back and you can show me yourself, I can show you God."
Mm-hmm.
Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's way. Oh, let me make it simple. Instead of telling all this esoteric stuff, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba's system is based off of love, service, and illumination. In our way, we have what we call the eternal triangle. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says you start with love for the divine. Once you have love for the divine, you have to put your love into an action, do some type of what we would call karma yoga, service, or khidma to humanity. Once you start to do this service and work for God, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba says the divine light of Allah will come directly to your heart from your love and your service, and that divine light will give you illumination. So
Wow.
his way is based off of service and work, not just staying in the mosque and praying all day. One of the highest things in our order, they asked Sheikh Ibrahim, they said, Sheikh Ibrahim, how can I become a saint? Sheikh Ibrahim said the way to become a saint in this time period is to cook food and feed the homeless. This is something anybody can do. You ain't got to learn no Arabic prayers or fast in Ramadan for that. Sheikh Ibrahim said if you want to be a saint, cook some food and start feeding people, and that will make you a saint.
So I got a question. You're speaking a lot about the heart. It sounds like you're talking about activating the heart chakra, opening up the heart chakra. And recently, there seems to be exposure to a lot of people whose hearts are actually closed, or they're not willing to even activate it on the level that you're talking about. So how would one even begin to get there? Other than Wachuma, Hank. I know you're going to say Wachuma. Other than that, what are your suggestions?
La ilaha illallah, 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 la ilaha. That ha is opening the heart directly.
Say it again, brother. Say it again.
When we're chanting La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah has 7 syllables. The 7 syllables correlate to the 7 chakras. So La is at the base of the spine. E is in the genital area. The second La is in the stomach where the 3rd chakra is. And that Ha is opening the heart. Why do you think the word heart starts with the H? The ha of the heart is being opened with La ilaha illallah when you chant it. So a direct path and Prophet Muhammad said everything has a polish, and he said the polish of your heart is to chant La ilaha illallah. And what that means is God is the only reality. Allah is the only reality, and everything else is an illusion. So when somebody, our beloved Noble Drew Ali says the closest place to meet Allah is inside of your heart. And the Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, Allah doesn't fit into the heavens or the earth, but Allah fits into the hearts of those who believe in Allah. So when we chant La ilaha illallah, it's removing the veils from the heart so that you can return to that divine being inside of your heart.
That's beautifully said, Sheikh Sufi.
Just by chanting La ilaha illallah.
Now, brother, I'm being honest. When you said it, it seemed like that's a very tantric chant.
It's yin and yang, brother. La ilaha is the yin, the feminine principle, and illallah is the yang, the masculine principle. La ilaha is a negation, and illallah is an affirmation. So inside the La ilaha illallah, you have the highest tantric union of the divine, because you have the La ilaha, which is yin, and the illallah, which is yang. So it is a tantric chant because it has masculine and feminine inside of it. It's the union of the masculine and feminine principles of the divine in one chant. You are exactly correct, brother.
So in that chant, have you ever, while doing sacred communion with your significant other chant that? And what if you did?
I have
What
heard,
happened?
I have had friends who said they chanted it and had outer body experiences and extreme bliss during the tantric act. This is what I heard from other people.
And you don't have to chant for
Oh,
long.
that's a real safe way to saying it, brother. Oh, that was real clever. That was clever. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? I caught it. That was good. Yo, that was real smooth, player. That was real smooth. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, La 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 La
Wow.
is a very tantric chant. Very, very tantric. And it's one of the best things to recite during the act.
Say it slow so we can memorize and people can videotape you saying
La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Watch the count. La ilaha illallah. 7 syllables.
Yeah, that's right. It is 7. I counted
Exactly
on my
7.
fingers. Yeah.
If you say 7 syllables, it's correct. La ilaha illallah. It goes straight up the spine in the 7 chakras.
You know, I remember reading. No, I actually remember seeing a videotape of the author from the book Messages of Water, Dr.
Woo! Yes, yes, yes,
Dr.
yes. Emoto.
Emoto. Emoto said the most beautiful ice crystals were the ones from Islamic prayers.
Arabic chants. Yes,
Arabic
this is
chants.
correct.
And they had it on YouTube, but it wasn't in English. It was like I think it was like English subtitles. But
Yeah, the name of the book is called Messages in Water.
yeah,
The book was so deep. I used to have Sufi gatherings at my house. The book was on my bookshelf, and one Friday after the meeting, the book just walked away.
I bet it did. I bet it did.
Somebody took that book home.
So another question I got, Sheikh Sufi, have you ever heard stories of couples conceiving while chanting la
Oh,
conception,
oh, listen,
chanting while
brother.
conceiving?
We had a class on this book called The Song of Muhammad by Bamba-Told. Bamba-Told is a Sufi master from Sri Lanka over by India. Bamba-Told said, it is important to recite the names of the divine during conception. And he said the names of the divine while being chanted during conception had the most impact on the child when they're born.
Wow.
So anytime you want to give birth to an avatar or a divine being, what actually when you're chanting the names of divine during conception, that divinity is stamped on the sperm and the egg and the embryo. So but if you playing some, I hate to say it, some Isley Brothers, some type of whatever music that you like, that will be stamped onto the child. You need to be playing some spiritual music, some chanting, and also the couple should be chanting during the act if they want to give birth to an avatar.
That is amazing, bro. You are dropping it tonight.
Don't tell the Muslims, boy, did he say that?
You are dropping sacred science, brother. Thank you, Sheikh.
I'm going to tell y'all, I have a book called, this book will get me labeled as a heretic when I leave the body. Let me be the first person to say that. I have a book called Open the Seventh Eye.
It's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon. The name of the book is Open the Seventh Eye by Kiyama Abdullah. It's my most esoteric book. You know, I don't even tell too many people about the book because it's the book is often, I don't want to talk about it, but that book, when I leave the body, people will use that book to say he was a heretic. In the book, it's talking about I got teachings from Hinduism, Buddhism, Sufism, Taoism, some tantric teachings, and something called Mahamudra, which is the highest teaching in Buddhism in the book.
Man, I'm ordering. I'm
So seeing
right now.
Sheikh Sufi, so seeing how you are in a way uniting all of these different orders, are you trying to follow in the footsteps of Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know the picture of Sheikh Ibrahim that you had up?
Yeah. Put it up.
Yeah, because the brother's asking me to say something, and I'm gonna just go ahead and tell it, man. Guess what Sheikh Ibrahim said?
What?
He said, I can name 70 of my previous mother's names.
Ooh.
He said, I'm buried in more countries than anybody in the history of humanity.
What? That's
His
deep.
mom's name was Mam Sainabou Jai. He said he can remember 70 of his previous incarnations, which means he lived in different societies.
Wow.
So these beings in Tuba are actually, and we know wherever he was, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba was there.
Now, how did he have such total recall? Because that's the worst thing about living, man, is having amnesia after we finish this life. If we could remember all of our lifetimes, but some of us probably wouldn't want to remember what the stuff.
Yeah, the masters, Noble Joe Ali again says, a master can trace himself through time. So Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, and when he asked, am I following their footsteps? I'm saying yes, because they lived in different societies at different times. And the highest masters are representing this exact same light in human form. And the goal of the master, who is the representative of the divine light, is to raise your consciousness up to divinity so that the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. The only thing the difference between the disciple and the master is the disciple is a caterpillar and the master is a butterfly, and the master came to turn you into a butterfly.
Wow.
That's the only difference.
You know, this was a feast to feed our souls. This is a feast, Sheikh Sufi. This is a feast, man.
You're the only one who can get me to talk like this in public. These teachings are not for the public.
Powerful.
Next time I come on here, I'm going to have on a mask and a hoodie. Because I damn sure said some shit I ain't supposed to say in public.
Oh, no. Listen, you were blessed by Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Sheikh Ibrahim. You were blessed by Jalaban and CRT too. And for all those who are listening, Sheikh Sufi, could you one more time tell them that the colonized, I want to make sure I get it right, the colonized name of CRT is Kenkaliba or Kakaliba. That's the
Kinkaliba, and the African Wolof name is Sehau.
And where did the African get that name Kakaliba from? The French?
I think it came from the French. I'm pretty sure it came from the French.
Because you know that I believe it was the French that were trying to patent the plant because it's so miraculous as far as the healing for the body that they had to take the European countries to court because they were trying to steal the plant.
Yeah, they tried to steal everything. Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, "Oh God." Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba said, when I leave, do not let the French get my body.
Oh.
He said the French know I'm not a human being. He said the French have an idea that I'm not a human being. He said the French want to take my body to France and open me up to see if I'm a human being or not.
Whoa.
He said, when I leave the body, do not let the French get my body.
And so, family, in summary, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, when you hear ascended masters, think of African ascended masters. And I'm giving also, in addition to Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the latest African ascended masters, also Simeon Toko. And Simeon Toko and Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba and Sheikh Ibrahim, they all drinking Sihar tea together in the multi-dimensional universe.
Ooh, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Say that again.
Mm-hmm. They're all Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba, Simeon Toko, Sheikh Ibrahim are drink. Even Saint Germain, Nikolai Tesla, all of them are drinking Sihar tea in the multi-dimensional intergalactic universe, and they might even be drinking Jalaban tea.
Amazing show, brother. Amazing show.
Thank you.
You always get me to say something I would never say in public.
Hey, listen, and nothing but the time is right. Sheikh Sufi, any additional contact information? Because you're going to have folks reaching out to you, brother.
Yeah, we have a lot of classes going on. We have a Sheikh Ahmadou International Sufi School. If you're interested in studying the path of the West African Sufi, send me an email. We got classes going on now, classes for new disciples starting in January. I will be teaching some classes on making the talismans. We have a Sufi school. We also have a school of alchemy. Wow. And the alchemy school only opens up about once every 3 years. So about once every 3 years, I'll teach how to make the talismans and how to make the magic squares and how to make do some of the marabou work. I don't teach that on the regular. So in January, I'll be teaching some classes on the marabou work and the alchemy teachings in January. And all of that you can find out. Also, Sheikh Sufi, I have a YouTube channel, CheikHSufi on YouTube. If you're interested in the school, spiritual baths or talismans works, you can email me at CheikHSufi on Gmail. And everybody should be thankful to Brother Ankh Rising Sun to get this being to come on alive and say, because the Sufi school is really an esoteric school where we do not teach in the public like this too often. Like, I'll tell you something. If you watch my videos on YouTube, I ain't said nothing in my videos like I said on your show tonight.
Listen, you got
if people want to get the esoteric Sheikh Sufi and the inner teaching, they're gonna have to come to your show, Brother Aunt, because I'm not giving this teaching on my regular videos. No way, it's too many people watching them.
Yo, listen, folks are loving everything you shared, Sheikh Sufi. I think it is because it was time, bro. Because I've been trying to get you for I don't know how long it's been since I've been trying to get Sheikh Sufi on the show, and I want to give a special shout out to Dooley, I call him Drunken Master Dooley because he Sheikh Sufi, he goes and lights up the pipe and then smokes all these various exotic stuff until he could do this Dragon Ball Z. And I watched him one time shrink a bunion on somebody's foot.
Now, I'm not giving no actual stories, but it's very possible that when I was in Boston and gave Brother Dooley his initiation, it's very possible we had a mushroom ceremony before that. It's very possible.
Yeah, just maybe.
It's very possible we had some shrooms before that initiation. I'm just hypothetically speaking,
I think Baraka went into altered states behind that, man.
Yeah, but my favorite medicine is the Hape.
Oh, you like Hape?
Hape is my favorite, man. It unites the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Gives you a unified field theory.
Yo, that's Dooley's middle name is Hape.
Yeah, he got some real Hape up there, bro. I'm telling you.
He's happy to be happy. For real. Special shout out to Drunken Master Dooley. And if any of y'all have any pain or issues of healing, you really need to reach out to Brother Dooley. I call him Drunken Master.
Oh yeah, he's doing psychic healings now, pulling
Yo,
beings and entities out of people.
what with the crystals and stuff? He must have him a posse of jinns, the good guy jinns helping him out because he got some stuff going on. He's watching now, man. Yeah, Dooley, post your contact number so the people in Brooklyn can reach out to you on Wednesdays because he's in Brooklyn on Wednesdays. And that's when he does his altered
Yo,
state
wait,
healing.
is he gonna be in Brooklyn tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll be in Brooklyn tomorrow. I think he'll be in Brooklyn tomorrow, Sheikh Sufi.
Should I go to Philly tomorrow, Brother Ankh, or should I try to come? But I gotta leave early in the morning. That's the issue.
He comes every Wednesday.
All right, alhamdulillah.
He comes every Wednesday. So he'll be here because he used to, for my place was the runway to get Dooley going. And then he works out of now the KB Body Bar, 870 Nostrand Avenue, between President, Nostrand and President Street, 6 p.m. until. So,
all right.
No, heads up. Here it is. He said he won't be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he said he's traveling tomorrow.
Yeah, ain't no telling where he's going. He might be
on Pluto.
He might be on Pluto or be going into the hollow earth from the Tibetan monasteries. There's no
Boy, he might be with Padmasambhava somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Dooley, type in your phone number so I can put it on the right, display it so that people can get in touch with you because there's people listening to this show now and in the future, they're going to want to get in touch with you. And also, do you, Sheikh Sufi, do you have a phone number that you want to share with the public, or just do the email? Because
email is better, man. I got too many people reaching out to me right now. I had to cut my phone off while I was in Africa because too many people was reaching out to me.
Wow.
So yeah, sheesh, brother. Look, you see this right here? This is 1,000 beads, brother.
Wow. What are you
I
going
don't
to
have time to be on the phone. This is what the Sufis use.
Wow, 1,000 beads?
1,000 beads.
How long it takes you to go through that?
I almost said something nasty. It depends. It depends on the chant. If you're doing la 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 la, you could do 1,000 la 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 in about 15 minutes.
Man, you must be practicing. Well, it is practice. What am I talking about?
Yeah, you could do 1,000 la 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 in about 15 minutes. I'd much rather get the email because people call me and they say the Sheikh didn't answer the phone. I was in the middle of 1,000 chants. I can't be on the phone like that.
Okay, I'm going to say Sheikh. No, that's not Sheikh Sufi. Shaman Dooley. I'm just that's incredible. What kind of bead is that made of?
That one came from the holy city of Tuba. They have some made out of Jalaman wood, but they're heavier. This is a lighter wood. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but it's a light. It's light. When you have a beads with 1,000, you want the beads to be light so they don't be too heavy in your hand.
Okay.
Ancient Sufi secrets.
Got it. All right, I messed up, but no worries. Let's wrap it up, y'all. Time to go to bed. Baraka's ready to crash his head. I want to thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sheikh. Sheikh Sufi.
Man, thank the light beings for inviting me. Thank the light beings for inviting me. Light detects light, mind detects mind. It's a beautiful time to share, and it's time for the light to be known. So thank you for bringing this teaching to the public.
Yeah,
Brother Baraka, Sister Bliss, and Brother Ankh.
Let's
thank you for bringing this teaching to the public.
Yep.